Good morning, everyone. This morning I've been asked to give you a little chat about the benefits of doing the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Now, clearly I'm a fan and I would talk forever about the benefits and the bonuses of doing the Duke of Edinburgh Award. But instead, we decided it'd be better to hear this from some former students who are going to talk about their experiences. So we're lucky to have 6 former students with us today. And instead of listening to me, let's listen to their experiences instead.
Hi everyone. So I just probably would start by saying that it was the most rewarding thing that I have ever done and the achievement I am most proud of. It is really hard, obviously, but at the same time, the reward is so good. Genuinely, my favourite day of last year was going to St James's Palace to get my award. And obviously Prince Edward is there and gave me my reward, and it's just such a good day. It's also, obviously, everyone says it, but it's so good for your CV, and I think it just starts you off before anyone even knows anything about you. They know that you're dedicated and that you're going to persevere with tasks. And yeah, our Wales experience was really hard, and we nearly didn't make it through because the weather was so bad. But Scotland was so amazing, and the views, it's just all worth it. It's something you'll be really proud of doing, and the experience is like nothing else. You get to do new skills. Like I did shooting, something I didn't think I'd ever do, but I loved it. And it's just a really fun experience. And I think although you're probably all have reservations about doing it, I think it's something that you really should consider, and you won't ever regret it. Reese, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I was just gonna talk about like 2 of the parts that I enjoyed most. One was the expedition and one was the residential. So for our expedition, we decided to kayak in Scotland, which I was quite happy about because it's quite hard to get lost on a canal. And I remember like we were at like the top of Loch Ness, and it was quite a windy day, and the wind had caused really big waves. And we were kind of crossing the loch, and I saw one of my group like disappear the other side of a wave, and it was definitely like quite a scary moment. And there was a few times where I thought I was going to end up in the water, but like really good, like for trusting people around you, that kind of thing. But I'm definitely glad that I've done something like that that's challenging. For my residential, I decided that I wanted to do something that would like support my uni application. So I'm studying veterinary medicine, so I decided to look for like a program that I could volunteer for, and it sounds quite extra, but I found a wildlife sanctuary in Bali. So me and a friend decided that we'd fly halfway around the world. It definitely wasn't cheap, and I had to get a job to pay for it, but it was 100% worth it. We did stuff like beach cleans. We like planted mangroves and stuff, and then we also worked for a week in a sanctuary that had crocodiles and monkeys, and there was a bear there as well that they'd rescued from like a circus kind of thing, which was pretty cool. They got me to try and catch this bird. So it was like I don't know if anyone knows what hornbill is. It's a bird with a really long, hard beak, and the people there kind of just gave me a net and was like, "Yeah, go catch it," and had a great time laughing at me as I did it. But yeah, it was really good, and I think like it gave me a lot to talk about when I went for my interview for university. I think DV in itself is or makes you stand out, but also if you can talk about what you did and how it's like affected you, then I definitely think like it puts you ahead of a lot of other people. Alan.
So for DV, I also canoed on my on my expedition, which was really, really fun. Especially in a canoe, you get to do it with another person in your canoe, so you kind of have two people, which makes you work quite a bit harder. But we also had on our expedition in Scotland quite bad weather on the first day, which was quite tricky. But it's having those friends around you, and it really makes those friends really good friends in the future, which was a massive benefit. I was friends with people that I wouldn't necessarily have naturally been friends with, which was last really long friendships, which was really fun. A huge benefit was that it really pushed me out of my comfort zone in so many situations. I wouldn't have naturally probably gone on a video production residential, but it was really useful for what I wanted to do. So with random people that you don't know, it's so many life skills that you learn. I also, you also become more of an interesting person, I think, in interviews, kind of as Reese was saying. There's so many, all the skills and choir and learning new skills of mapping. And my volunteering, I was working in a kids club, so I could talk about so many different skills and show off almost in an interview, give examples of what you need, which was such a big benefit. But yeah, the highlight is, as kind of Georgie was saying, the views of Scotland. If you're canoeing or kayaking, it's amazing. It's so beautiful. One day you camp at the bottom of Loch Ness and you can open your tent in the morning and it's just the whole Loch Ness in the morning. Just if it was sunny on that day, and it was just amazing, and it made it all worth it in that moment. And yeah, it's so much fun. All of the different parts of it is really fun. But yeah, I think I'm passing to Austin.
Yeah, so yeah, for me, really, the DAV award really was about personal development. And I believe that really one of the big benefits of it is that it gets you to do something that you wouldn't normally do on a day-to-day basis, like volunteering or going away on residentials. And yeah, ultimately, as Ellen said, one of the big things that it does in this is pushes you a little bit out of your comfort zone. And, that's so important for your personal development, so that you can improve and do things that, you can say, yeah, I can do that now. That's so much fun. And yeah, certainly from the experience, it's made me such a far more confident, independent, and I'd say resilient person. And they're the real key benefits that you get from it. And of course, one thing it certainly does is give you so many good memories. So for our group, we kayaked from Fort William to Inverness, as I think a few other guys on this call have done. And it's so much fun because the months before it, you're planning it with your friends, you're looking at the route, and you're looking at the maps, and you're learning all these new skills, and then you execute it. And yes, you have your really, really miserable days, but looking back at it, I would say go and do it again, because it was actually so much fun. And it was a brilliant experience. And for the residential, I was really fortunate to be able to go cross-country skiing in Norway, and it was such a good opportunity that Mr. Macpherson even joined me as well with the cadets. And that was by far one of the most amazing experiences I've had in my life. So yeah, really the DAV award is all about opening you up to these amazing opportunities and getting you to do something that you would otherwise not normally do. And now I think I'm passing on to Taylor.
Hi everyone, I'm Taylor and I graduated from Shiplake in 2018, and I'm now currently studying medicine at the University of Buckingham. And I wanted to just share some of my experiences of my Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award and how it's impacted my life since. So if anyone here is considering becoming a doctor, you'll know that the application process for medicine is extremely competitive. So my initial reasons for wanting to do the DAV Gold Award was to add a unique string to my bow and to make me stand out against other candidates. However, now looking back, I've realized that the qualification itself is not the only thing that was going to help me stand out, but rather the skills that I gained from the experience. So I volunteered at a local care home for the volunteering unit of the course. And I think this is what impacted me the most out of the whole experience. During the visits, I'd spend most of my time talking to elderly patients, some of which had dementia. And I remember how excited the patients would get to talk to someone new. And that kind of made me fall in love with the idea of being able to help someone and make a difference, no matter how small the act is. And this also helped fuel my passion for pursuing a career in medicine. And it also taught me vital communication skills with patients. And it also gave me a chance to be able to see firsthand patient care with the nurses and the patients. DOV is an amazing opportunity to step out of your comfort zone as well and to hone some new skills. So for me, I joined choir as a part of the skills section of DOV. And as well as meeting some amazing people, I was also able to step out of my comfort zone and sing a solo at the carol service. And this idea of developing certain skills also applied to my sports section of the course, because I was able to practice enough that I ended up becoming one of the captains for the netball teams. Granted, we lost every match, but still, I don't think I would have been able to do that without the practice. I'll always remember the memories from the kayaking expedition that we did in Loch Ness. The first 2 days of the expedition were filled with beautiful views, and the nature was like so beautiful, and it was all calm waters. However, on the third day of the expedition, the wind turned against us. And I think, as Reese was saying, like when it's so windy, it causes these massive waves. And it's almost like you're going on a treadmill, because if you stop to slow down, you're drifting back so far that it's undoing everything that you've just done. So that day definitely taught me resilience. And by the end of the day, we were all so exhausted, but also really proud of ourselves for not giving up. The expedition also required a lot of organization and teamwork before the expedition. And it also taught me about leadership and resilience as well. The experience definitely gave me some amazing memories, as well as some profound personal growth. And if anyone is considering doing DOV Gold, I definitely recommend it. Now passing on to Dan.
Thanks, Taylor. Hi, everyone. My name's Dan. I was at Shiplake College leaver in 2019, so some of you might recognise me. So I did the bronze DOV when I was in year 10 and gold DOV when I was in year 12. And I think unis and employees like to see applicants with, I think, what they call soft skills, things like teamwork, leadership, communication skills like that. And doing something in your own initiative like DOV is a really good way to develop these skills and also to show proper evidence of them. I often think it's funny just to think how much these skills for me personally developed just between my bronze DOV when I was about 15 and my gold DOV when I was around 17, which was in no small part due to DOV, I'm sure. And it just really helps you stand out from your peers, as well as giving you some good life experience, and really helps to build some confidence up, help out in your community, find new skills, hobbies. Picked up guitar, still play guitar, which was a great thing. I sort of never looked back, and probably something I may never have picked up had I not done DOV. So I'm very grateful for that. Also, for my residential, went sailing, which was really good fun. Enjoyed that a lot, and met a lot of nice people, which was good. Particularly when you leave school, you know, it's sort of in the big world, and need the skills to sort of to meet people and make friends. And the more practice you have at that is the better, I think. But I think the highlight of the whole experience for me, as most people have said today, is the expedition for sure. Sort of in August 2018, I think, a group of us kayaked the Great Lochs in the Scottish Highlands, Loch Lochy, Loch Oig, and of course Loch Ness. Loch Ness is at least 40, or probably nearly 40 kilometers long, so you can't see the other side. It is quite, it's like a sea. You can't see the horizon for sure, and it just goes on and on and on. But it is a beautiful part of the world, and it was an amazing week. It was sort of 5 days of challenging teamwork. It was great fun. I would do it again if I could. And no chance Loch Ness monster sightings, but loads and loads of midgies. But that aside, it was fantastic. Yeah, so I think if you fancy an opportunity, which is really what DOV is, to sort of develop certain skills and have the opportunity to go on an expedition and meet new people, it's just great. I would can't recommend it enough to any students. Yeah, thank you. Mr. Macpherson, you want to take over?
Well, all I can say is I couldn't have said it better myself, to be perfectly honest. Finally, I just want to say thanks to everyone for joining us today, and thanks especially to you guys for sharing your time and sharing your memories. As I say, I couldn't have said it better myself. It was great to hear such positive feedback. For the rest of you, those current students at Shiplake, as I said on Monday, enrolments for DV will take place in September, and I'll go through all of this again with you then, but I look forward to seeing you all in September and get you enrolled in the programme so that you can share the same memories and get the same benefits that these guys have just highlighted. Thank you very much.